Here they are, Instant Pot's flagship devices for the 2019 season. And both of them are leaps and bounds from what they've ever put on the market before. One of them, the Duo Crisp and Air Fryer, literally has a air frying lid you set on top of the pot, and once you pressure cook, you brown your food in. And I've got videos on it, but tonight we're going to review the Duo EVO Plus, which is just a pressure cooker. It doesn't air fry, but it has a brand new display and a feature that Instant Pot has never put on one of their devices. And if you ask me, it's a big deal. And that is the steam function. Well, they may have had steam function before, but they've never had one that is what I call true steam, where you don't close the vent. If you ask me, every other pressure cooker before from Instant Pot, it requires you to close the vent and it goes into a pressure mode. Well, you're not steaming at that point, you're pressure cooking. Well, this one does not. Now, I haven't tried it. That's what we're fixing to do right now. I'm about to steam some of these vegetables right here and see how it does. And I'm looking real forward to it. Again, right there they are. That's the two flagships, I promise you, of the 2019 season anyhow. I'm John Sanders, also known as Jelly 007. Let's see how well this thing will steam. All right, there it is, the Duo EVO Plus, the display and all. And it is a beautiful display, no doubt. Now, I will say, if you've got any Instant Pot that they've ever made before, pretty much, it'll do the same thing this one does, with exception of two options, steam and sous vide. Now, the steam is a big deal. I'm going to show you in a minute how they word it in here and show you how that it is true steam. You don't lock this lid, so that means it's steaming and not pressure cooking. As far as a sous vide, I've already bought 2 ribeye steaks, and tomorrow night they're getting cooked under sous vide. I bought 2. I'm going to do one in here and one in my Anova sous vide stick. And good or bad, that video's going up. And I have not tried it. I have not touched this function. I have not put water in it to see how it heats and all. But it has a sous vide feature, so we're going to test it. And come to think of it, I haven't tested this steam feature either. But if you read right here, it says, right here in the writing, it says, non-pressure steaming for fish and vegetables. Use a glass lid when steaming, or move the quick release switch to the vent position. And then it says use the steam rack for best results. Well, if you use a glass lid, and I bought one, I got one kind of just for this, or for a lot of things, but I've got a glass lid from Instant Pot. If you're using that glass lid or don't have this locked, we're steaming. We're not pressure cooking. That's my point. And that's where I get, well, like this right here with broccoli. You hear a lot of people say, you know, they're cooking broccoli and they say 0 minutes or even 1 minute. Well, that's because they're having to pressure cook it. And if you look right here, here's a steam feature. Here's the presets. It has 3, sterilized, potato, and broccoli. Or you can custom whatever minutes you want. But say you take the broccoli alone. Right there's broccoli. If I can get it to land on that one. There it is. It defaults to 10 minutes of steam. All right, well, if in the past you were using an Instant Pot, you set it to 0 minutes. Well, that's not very forgiving because you can't do any adjustment at 0 minutes. Well, with 10, if you cook this broccoli and it's overcooked, then you just lower it next time you cook it to 5 or whatever, you know, common sense. So don't really have to speak on that much more. But my point is, the steam feature is worth having, and only device on the market I know of from Instant Pot that will do it. Now Ninja does it. I've got videos, not only vegetables you can do in steam, I've got videos in my Ninja where I did lobster and shrimp and a lot of things. I mean, it did lobster as good as you're going to get in your restaurant. That's the way big restaurants do lobster. They do it with steam. But I've got all kinds of stuff. I've got asparagus. I've got corn. If you've ever ate corn that's been steamed, you know what I mean? It's a way better way. I've got cabbage. But I know we're doing the broccoli tonight. We're going to see how the video goes. And I'm going to show you a few other features that haven't been pointed out. But anyhow, we're going to get that started. I'm going to get those broccoli flowerets cut off. and we're going to do that next. Be right back. Okay, so for a couple of things that I haven't seen other people review about or speak on, one of the things is the keep warm feature. And it is really neat, and I think I'll find some uses for it. Now, I'm not sure other Instant Pots don't do this, but when you hit keep warm, it defaults to 10 hours on high. And of course, you can change the time all the way up to 24 hours. Well, if you press that again, the high starts flashing, and you have 3 selections: high, low, or custom. The custom is the neat part. It defaults to 171, but you can take it all the way to 194, and then if you go past that or in either direction, it drops all the way down to 77 degrees. So anywhere between 77 and 194 for up to 24 hours. Now, there's some things you can't do that with for sure, but there's a lot of things you can, and I'll probably find a use for that. And I'm going to look on my other Instant Pots. I'm not sure, I don't have another device that'll do that. I just never noticed it. And I think that's pretty neat. I like that. So I'm going to cancel that. And that is something else, so I'll mention right quick. You have to hit start on this Instant Pot. It doesn't just automatically start. I don't like when I set it, well, just like then, if I were doing something and messing around, I don't like for it to just start. I like to tell it to start. So this one does that. Now right here, this has been covered, but I want to show something else about it. I think this is a very neat feature, and it is the quick cool feature. And in January of 2020, Instant Pot is supposed to have the attachment that goes with this available, and I definitely want it. I will have it. You take this off, and some type of attachment goes right here. You fill it with ice or cold water, or you can fill the device, the attachment, with water and freeze it, and then all you do is slip it in there. Now, I have no idea. I've looked everywhere for an image of it, and I couldn't find it, but right here is where it says that it's available. It says the quick cool tray sold separately at instantpot.com, available in January of 2020. So I will be watching for it, and the minute I get it, I'll do a review. We'll see. But anyhow, the next thing is the broccoli. Here's the broccoli we're going to do. I've got it ready. Now, I'm fixing to tell something I've never told. I use it on a lot of things, and broccoli is one of them, but now it's a secret. I ain't call it a secret. It's something I do. And it's this right here. It's butter popcorn, the kind you spray popcorn with, and it works well. I guess you could use real butter, but so spraying it works well. Now, I don't do it before I cook it. I cook it and then I spray it with that butter flavored popcorn spray. And I do that on a couple of items, not just broccoli. And then, of course, with broccoli, black pepper. I think that's the best thing to go with it. But nowadays, talking about that butter for popcorn, this right here, which is ghee. And I'm using it for a lot of things. It's high temp to fry in, but it has a butter taste, and it is nothing but clarified butter pretty much in a can. So let's see if there's something else I want to cover. Oh, this right here right quick. One thing they did I hadn't seen people notice is they made it ambidextrous, and which is left or right hand. So if you're left-handed or right-handed, it's set up. When you open this, they moved the lid hangers, what I call the lid hangers, to the back, so they're not in your way, and you'll see that on other reviews. But there's your left-handed version, and if you're right-handed, there's your right hand. And even if you're not right-handed, if you want to put it on either side, you can. They are dedicated to one side. You can't turn it like this. You have to go left or right. My point is that it's kind of, that's why I think this handle is molded like it is, or curved, so it works good in a person with right hand or left hand. I'm sure you've seen this, and that is a neat feature. It has a block on it. I kind of like the one on the Duo Crisp fryer. It has a different style that you press. I almost like it better, but there's nothing wrong with that for sure. And it has this diffuser. It's not just your lid. It does throw it back. If you notice right there, there's the vent, and it leans that pressure back so it doesn't shoot it at you. It kind of shoots it away from you, the steam, and then there's sealed. But it has this plastic diffuser that goes on top, so it helps disperse that a little bit better. You know, it's not in one direction, although they direct it away from you. I kind of like that. The one last thing I want to say, or two or three things, I guess there's a bunch, but right here, and here's the handles, which I'm sure you've already seen, and they are neat. I do like them. I love that it's printed in here and not stamped. Now, there's a couple of reasons why. I'm going to show one more thing about that pot, but here is one from a regular Instant Pot. When they're stamped like this, that indentation, and a lot of times they're all different. Now this one's embossed out this way, but I've got pots that are the other way. Their stamp is in that direction, and I literally have to take a brush like this to get it out of there. You know, it's just a little bit frustrating. I would rather have that smooth surface with an easy to read, clearly legible markings on it. The one last thing is this right here, and you've seen it too, but they're both stainless steel. This is the old style pot, that's the new. They're both stainless, but there's a magnet, and that's what you have to have for induction cooking. This is what I'll put it like this. This one is what I call induction friendly stainless. So you see a magnet sticks, that means induction will work with it. And it has the symbols. It'll work with, I guess, any type heating element anybody has. Because there's all the symbols. Induction is there. I haven't tried it, but I'm positive it works. But like I said, induction friendly stainless steel. So it's stainless steel and it'll work on an induction cooker. And not to mention, this is in other reviews also, it does not have that concave, which that's the only thing I've ever had a problem with Instant Pot. Because when you put something in, if you put oil in to sear, it runs to the edges. I got lit up on a video one time because I put so much oil in there where I would have enough. So, but it's a beautiful looking pot, a good flat surface, induction friendly, nothing wrong with it. I have no problems with that whatsoever. So that's all I'm going to point out. I mean, everything else has been pointed out, and I may be touching on some things you've already heard. But right now, we're fixing to put this water in here, which is a little over 2 cups. I'm going to hit steam, and we're going to change. We're going to do. We're going to go to broccoli. I'm going to set it to broccoli just for the fun of it, and then I'm going to turn that to 5 minutes because I don't want to go 10 right away. I want to do 5 minutes to start with. I'm going to hit start. It's on. You can see there's no lid there, so it comes on fine. Here's the Instant Pot lid. If you can see that writing in there, there it is. That's what we're going to use. So I'll be back in just a second. All right, for the record, you can see it's already went through preheating and it has started cooking and the timer came up. So we're going to set this in. And I could show you. I will. You can see it's rolling in there. And we're going to set this in for our 5 minutes. And you don't need a trivet or anything with an Instant Pot steamer basket because it has one built on the bottom. So we're going to let those 5 minutes go up and see how it looks. Be back. Okay, so one thing I did notice already is that it does not go to seconds. So it just goes to a 1 minute on steam. We're going to pull a couple of them out and let them sit in there. It's easier for me to undercook stuff than it is to overcook it. So it may need more than 5. Again, this is kind of just a test. I'm even going to put real butter and what I got right here on there instead of sea salt. Butter, olive oil, and sea salt instead of this right here. But I'm going to tell you, that works on a lot of things, including popcorn. So it's not a bad thing to have. And I thought that would complete while we were talking, but we hadn't. So I'm going to let that finish and I'll be back. There it goes. Wow, I barely made it. All right, so let's take a look at it. As a matter of fact, let's do that just like this. And Man, it looks just like what steamed broccoli always does. It looks good. There's nothing lost. Nothing. I mean, this is the way to cook a lot of things, of course. We're going to get a couple of them out. I'm not going to start it again. I'm just going to get that size out and that size and put the lid right back on where it would stay warm for a long time. I'm going to let them cool just a minute, and then I'm going to take a bite of one and see how it is. Be back. Okay, there it is. I put a little butter and salt and pepper. And I'll be honest with you, 5 minutes. It's really close to what I would want. I mean, 7 minutes at most. And you know something? That's something you have to determine on your own. That's cooked. Maybe 7 minutes. But anyhow, I'm going to pull those out. I may do 2 more minutes on them or so and put them in here for tomorrow. And we may try something else, but really it's just about making sure the steam function worked, and it did. So y'all hold up. I'll be back for something. Okay, here is the broccoli after 2 more minutes, which there was nothing wrong with the 5-minute version. It was just a little firm for me. And with 2 more minutes, it's perfect. It was kind of perfect to begin with. It's a far cry from 0 minutes in a pressure cooker, if you ask me. And I've done it both ways, and this is way more controllable. Now, as far as their flagships of 2019, this and that, I love this. It's a great device. Don't get me wrong. It's got a lot of nice features. I wish they had made them the same. I wish they had put an air frying lid on this, because for a little over a year now, the king of my kitchen has been the Ninja Foodi, which has the same thing they did right here, an air frying lid. And until you do it, and I did it for years. I did it where I pressure cooked and then carried it to the oven and browned it, or put it under the broiler to brown, say, wings or whatever you're cooking, to brown it. And you kind of get past that and you just start doing it without it. Well, it's because this adds a lot more work. It's common sense. You got a lot of different things to clean. Well, when you can do it in the same pot, you never do it without it. That's why my personal opinion is, between these 2 devices, although that's a great one, don't get me wrong, if you want to steam, you got to have it. But the king of the kitchen over here, which would be this or the Ninja Foodi, there's a reason it is. And I think the air frying feature is a great. The best thing since the microwave is what that design or that concept is. It just is. It is really, I don't use my oven or my microwave anymore. I use that. Anyhow, thank y'all for watching my video. I appreciate it. Y'all, please like, share, and subscribe, and all the above. And this right here, kitchens bring families together, is what I really believe, and I really think it does. And I think if you cook, you know what I mean by that. Anyhow, hey, I love y'all all. Y'all come back to see me, and y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.